Karma Yoga is not an action. Karma Yoga is not doing seva. Karma Yoga is not being a volunteer in some organization. Karma Yoga is about doing any action in your own home, in anywhere you're doing, but how you are doing it. It is more a mental thing than a physical action. Alright, let's go ahead with verse number 48 because we have already studied till 47. Where am I? So 47, if you remember, is where we stopped last time. One of the most important verses of the Bhagavad Gita. So let's read it once again to refresh ourselves. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. I have to give it to Nidhi. Better give this book, we need it over. Pass this to Nidhi. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What it means is the only thing which is in our hands, the only thing which we have control over is what actions we do and how we do them. The doing is in our hands. That is our choice. We may choose to do something, we may choose not to do something. If we choose to do something, we also have a choice of how we want to do that action. Only that much is in my hands. What is not in my hands? The result of that action. The outcome of that action is not in my hands. Then in whose hands is it? It's not in my hands, then in whose hands?
Laws of nature.
Laws of the universe. Karma. The law of karma. The laws of the universe. They will decide what should be the result that you get from this action. Oh my goodness, then if all actions are going to create karma, better I don't do only any action. The mind will tell you, better I don't do only. जाने दो ये कौन झंझट में पड़ेगा, कर्मा शर्मा and all. Even you go to Himalaya, it is still an action.
No action is also action.
Run away, don't do any action. Run away, go to sleep, become Kumbhakaran, do whatever, don't do any action. That also is an action, and that action also has an outcome proportionate and appropriate to that karma. So everything you do and everything you don't do, everything you choose to do and everything you choose not to do, everything incurs karma. So therefore Bhagavan says, do not also not do any action. So action is compulsory. How you do, your choice. What you do, your choice. What you get back, not your choice. Not your choice. Because you may want one particular result from it. Right? You may say, I am coming to satsang. I better get enlightened by the end of it. Not your choice. I have been coming for 10 years. What the hell? I am not getting anything. Not your choice. Somewhere you have done it in a way where enlightenment is still not due to you. Alright? So that is where we left it at number 47. Verse number 47. 48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Gopal, read.
Arjuna, perform your duties established in yoga, renouncing attachment and be even-minded in success and failure. Evenness of mind is called yoga.
Alright. Take the meanings first. Yogastha, being established in yoga, being steadfast in yoga. Kuru, do, perform. Karmani, duties. Tyaktva, having abandoned. Sanga, attachment. Attachment to what? Result, correct. Dhananjay, another word for Arjun. So up to here you have being steadfast in yoga, perform your duties. How should I perform them? After having abandoned the attachment to the result of that action. Then one more condition is there, how to perform. Bhutva, becoming. Sama. Now you all know the meaning of sama? Equanimous, equipoised, balanced. Siddhya siddhyo, in success and failure. Siddhi, you know, success. Asiddhi, failure. So how should you be? You be balanced. If success comes also, you are the same. If failure comes also, you are the same. What's the difference between this and the earlier thing, being attached to the result? Being attached to the result is I'm attached to a particular result. And second is success also comes, failure also comes. In both cases, I am okay with it. That is how you should perform your duties. Samatvam, you know, equanimity, such equanimity, uchyate, is called yoga. So if we have to paraphrase the whole verse, being steadfast in yoga, perform duties, having abandoned the attachment to the result, and becoming equipoised in success as well as failure. And such an equanimity is called yoga. So Bhagwan tells us that we have to perform our duties. So each one of us has got 4 duties to perform in life. And they are called 4 Purusharths. You know it all. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Our final and ultimate goal is moksha. Alright? That is the reason why we have taken birth in human form. Only in human form we can achieve moksha. You cannot achieve as donkey and monkey, okay? But on the way to achieving moksha, there are other duties which we have to perform. And those duties are dharma, artha, kama. What does it mean? We have to fulfill our own needs and we have to fulfill the needs of our family. And you fulfill those needs through dharma, artha, kama. Notice the word I have used is needs, not greeds. Artha is the method of satisfying our needs. You need artha. Artha means money. You need money to fulfill your needs because everything is an exchange, right? So it's part of our Purusharth. It's one of the Purusharths. Unfortunately, what happens is in the process of performing this goal or attaining this goal of Artha, we get into further entanglements. We start getting more and more karma. How and why? Because we are not doing it in the right way. What is the right way of fulfilling the goal of Artha?
Keeping dharma in
Artha has to be fulfilled on the track of dharma. Dharma has to support Artha.
And does it also mean that we have to give charity also?
वो सब बाद में, हाँ? There are guidelines for that also. But we are talking about earning, not about giving. So we have to learn the art of fulfilling artha, kama and moksha in such a way that we do not incur more karma. And that method, that art, that science of doing dharma, artha, kama without incurring more karma is karma yoga. Karma yoga is basically the art of fulfilling dharma, artha, kama without creating more karma. That is why karma yoga. So how do normal people or every one of us perform actions, and what is the karma yogi way of performing actions? So when we are not aware of the karma yogi way, what do? Most people are looking out into the world for success. They are looking out into the world for joy. They are looking out into the world for pleasure. They are looking out into the world for peace. This is normal, everybody. What does a karma yogi do? He finds that joy and peace within himself in doing the action. While doing the action itself, the karma yogi finds joy. The joy is in the action, not after the action. The normal people are seeking for results in the future. They're seeking for that happiness in the future. See, finally, you say, why do you work? I work because my family needs to eat. Why do they need to eat? Because they need to be alive. And they need to be happy. Finally, everything is boiled down to need for happiness. So we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing this, we are doing that. Finally, we all want to be happy. A karma yogi says, while I am doing the action, I am happy. I am happy right now. I am not waiting for the future. Normal people, which is all of us, we will say, while we are doing the action, we are thinking about our past. Oh, last time I did it was like this. Oh, why should I do this? She did like this to me, so my action right now should be like that. We are all the time in the past, or we are all the time in the future. A karma yogi is where?
In the present.
In the present. A karma yogi is in the action itself, not even in the result in the present. It's in the action itself. So we need to be able to do the action in the present. We need to be in such a state of mind that we find joy while doing it. We need to be doing the action as an expression of our joy and not doing the action to seek joy. The action should be an expression of my happiness. Action should be something that I am feeling happy inside, and from that happiness inside, it is so full that it has no option but to overflow, and that overflow is the action which I am performing. And there's a big difference in the two. How to reach this stage of being so full of joy that my action is an overflow of that happiness. How to do it? Last time we thought about it. Train the buddhi. Train the buddhi. The whole spiritual journey is about training the intellect.